Good afternoon, friends. Today I shall speak on yet another important topic of my understanding of life, sharing with you, especially every day I share something, is that a responsible life. My friends, we are responsible for our lives, well being, and actions in all areas open to it's all open to our choices. I find that we may operate self responsibility in one context and possibly in another. I feel that we need to be self responsible in various categories of various things. Firstly, I'm convinced that I'm responsible for the level of consciousness I bring to my activities. I'm responsible for bringing the level of consciousness to all the occasions, all the situations which comes to my life. My friend, I'm also responsible for my choices, decisions, and actions. If I accept responsibility, I am far more likely to choose, decide, and act in a way that will not later cause embarrassment, shame, or regret. I am equally responsible for fulfillment of my desire. One common cause of frustration and unhappiness in people is the fantasy of rescuer who will someday materialize to solve their problems and fulfill their desires and dreams and wishes. This is why I always stress that no one is going to save me. No one is going to make my life right for me. No one is coming to will ever come to solve my problems and make life easier. If I don't do something, nothing is going to happen or to my life or it's going to get better. I'm disempowering myself in waiting. There's a very famous play. You all must watch Waiting for Godot. That Godot never turns up. In my avoidance of self-responsibility is basically condemn myself to passivity and helplessness. My friends, I am also responsible for my habits and my values. The responsible individuals stress to make beliefs and values consistent so that they can be more critically scrutinized and so that he or she can be more in control. I'm also responsible for how I prioritize my time. By this, we are more likely to address and control our choices and our responsibilities than we are, and we are more likely to address and correct the contradictions. Then, if we tell ourselves that we are somehow victims of circumstances, taking responsibility is the key to finding a solution. I am responsible for my choices of my companions. Very important. Good company always have better prospects for improving your life. Sorry, there was an interruption. I am also responsible for how I deal with people. Whatever I choose to say or do, I am the author of my behavior. I am responsible for how I speak and how I listen. I am responsible for the rationality or irrationality of dealings with others. I am responsible for respect or disrespect. I bring to encounters for the fairness or unfairness, the kindness or the unkindness, the generosity or meanness, whether I choose to speak to others intelligence or to ponder to their views. It is my choice. Whether I keep my priorities or break them, it is my decision. Be responsible. Start accepting and be responsible for everything which happens to your life. I'm also responsible for what I do about my feelings and emotions. Be less impulsive. Be less impulsive and more thoughtful about our behavior. If we operate on the implicit premises that whatever impulse hits us must be followed, if we believe that feelings are to be obeyed without judgment, then we become reckless drivers of our thoughts, and you spoil, we mar our wonderful existence. My dear friends, I am also responsible for my happiness. I am free to look at the options available in any situation and respond in the wiser way. If something is wrong, my response is not someone got to do something, but what can I do? What possibilities exist? What needs to be done? And I must take the best course of action. And finally, ultimately, my brothers, my friends, I'm responsible for my life and well-being. In taking responsibility for own existence, we implicitly recognize that other human beings are not our servants, and we do not exist for the other human beings as means to our ends. Just as we are not means to their ends, we are not entitled to demand that the other works and live for our sake. Just as we do not work and live for others, we are, each of us, ends in ourselves. Morally and rationally, we are obliged to respect one another's right of self-interest. My dear friends, start taking responsibility of life, and believe me, your life will become a responsible life. And right now on, stop blaming any one individual circumstance or anything in your life. You will feel the difference. Thank you very much. We shall continue. Jai Hind.